Worth. Let's see if I can get the date correct today. It is Saturday, October 31st, 2020. Halloween for some. This is Unity Fort Worth Pray-In. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Glad you're here this morning on this fine Saturday. Let us begin as we usually do with our daily word. Let me include here where you might find the daily word for yourself. Give them credit that we always use what they labor 365 days a year to produce for us. Today's daily word is imagine. Let me try again. Today's daily word is imagination. My imagination sets me free. My imagination sets me free. Let me include this over here. There, my imagination sets me free. I invite you to say that with me. My imagination sets me free. The power of imagination allows me to transcend my day-to-day reality and conjure new identities for myself. Just as I can don a mask and try a new persona, I can remake my self-image as my soul evolves. I use this spiritual gift to expand my world as I put my gifts and talents to use. My imagination frees me and carries me high above all worldly limitations. I use it to shape my life according to the imaginings of my inner vision. My foundation of faith steadies me as I pursue my goals. My limitations fall away as I conceive of great adventures and accomplishments. I believe in my ability to dream big and know I can achieve anything I imagine. And our verse comes from John 1:50. Jesus answered, "Do you believe because I told you that I saw you under the fig tree? You will see greater things than these." My imagination sets me free. Together, my imagination sets me free. Imagination. Our co-founder of Unity, Charles Fillmore, talks of imagination as being one of the 12 faculties or abilities of mind. And he says imagination is the faculty of mind that images and forms. It's the power to shape and form thought. And through this faculty, the formless takes form. So through imagination, we're utilizing God's substance, all that's available, the building blocks of creation. And we take that which is seemingly absent and we bring it into form. So we're utilizing in this case the understanding the idea about God, divine mind, dealing with ideas, that God mind is ideas. Let's enter this here for us. I'm not going to. Let's try again. See if I can add it this way here for us. Because divine ideas are infinite possibilities of ideas. Well, I put good, but read there God, because God, good, that works too. But another understanding, another clarification for God is divine idea, that there's infinite possibilities, that all that can be conceived are included in divine ideas. All that can't be conceived by us are included in divine ideas, or that which hasn't been conceived yet by us are included in divine ideas. It's the idea of mind, idea, expression that is so common in Unity when we talk about how we create, how we form in this world, that There are infinite possibilities in the mind idea. So in the God figurehead, if we'll use that term, all those infinite possibilities there, but we draw on those ideas to come up with an idea on our own. We think it's an original idea, but it's an idea that was formed and had always been formed in the mind of God. That idea of infinite possibilities, that understanding, more clarity there of those infinite possibilities, that I draw upon those, and that by drawing upon those, then I can do and accomplish in this world what brings that into expression. So mind, idea, expression. And that our ideas thus are productive. We bring forth after their kind. Again, that's another classic law of mind action from Charles Fillmore, that thoughts held in mind produce after their kind. Well, to be held in mind, there's a use of imagination in that process. Myrtle Fillmore, the other co-founder of Unity, writes in her book, How to Let God Help You, this wonderful explanation of how we're using imagination. And it says, you say your world is not bounded like mine with peace and friends and happiness, prosperity, love, plenty, and blessings of all kind. How do you know what my world is? You are using your imagination and picturing my world to yourself. You're using the same imagination and bounding and picturing your own world. But see how differently you are using this wonderful formulative faculty, imagination. So see, she's saying to us, as she continues, you see that how people respond and react to you differently than they do to me. Well, of course, because we're holding different ideas, imagining, holding different images than each other. Thus, the world around us responds differently. The people around us respond differently. And she goes on to say, too, that your world is sad because you continually think sad thoughts and speak sad words, and that you're breaking God's law of love and harmony and joy, and that you can't feel God's presence as long as you disregard this law. So we've got here this bringing in that when we hold certain feelings and ideas, that's what we're producing in our world. But how do we hold those ideas? It's through imagination. I imagine, I see my world in my mind's eye a certain way. I have an expectation and I have a vision of what my world will show up as. That is the faculty of imagination. And George Bernard Shaw says that imagination is the beginning of creation. There's a reverend named Ed Rabel who writes that this faculty of imagination, as we develop it, we're deepening that faculty of imagination. In other words, utilizing that imagination, we're helping deepen our faculty, our ability to use our imagination. That it's like an exercise, that we keep using it to produce more constructive, controlled thinking, is his words, more constructive, positive, constructive, controlled thinking. And that thus we're helping develop this ability to look at the world as God world, as divine mind in action, in expression, thus holding a positive image, recognizing what is truth in the world, meaning love, prosperity, abundance, that all that which is God, that we're training our eyes to see the world that way. And in doing so, this helps me with our original statement of my imagination sets me free. Well, is it just setting me free because I'm getting things in my world, I'm creating in my world? That's how's it setting it free? And Reverend Ed says that's because as you're developing that positive, constructive thinking, you're also then developing more truth thinking. And more truth thinking leads to spiritual awareness, which leads us into the Christ consciousness, into that recognition of us as being that embodiment, but that full expression of the Christ, of the divine mind of God here in our world. Not just that imagination is a creative process for us to have things and experiences in life, but that imagination is taking us deeper into our recognition and awareness of our Christ nature. So, thus setting us free, because in there where the truth resides, and we are experiencing and living from that truth, thus set free. So, with that note, let us move into prayer. Invite you, take a good breath in, and as you exhale, just relax and settle in. Relax here, knowing that all the day and the activities to come are unimportant in this moment. Just allowing your breath to settle you in, to be aware that you are here in this place, in this time, and that you are concentrating now on the one truth, the one power, the one presence, God, omnipotence, this that is here, expressing fully in this moment. In my awareness of my surroundings, but my awareness of myself, here resides God. And that I meditate on and move deeply into my awareness that this presence that is me is the presence that is all. And that everything that I make a prayer request for, and that which I know is requests of my friends and families and loved ones and humanity, that they too are in that recognition of their expression and experience as the divine. And in our imagination, we see our world, we realize our world for being filled with nothing but God ideas, filled with this wonderful divine expression of love and abundance, clarity, prosperity, wisdom, knowledge, all that flows forth. Our imagination sees the world filled with the things that bring our heart joy and excitement to be bound in this world with these people, to be bound on our planet, meaning to be held on our planet in these loving expressions of divine nature. And with that, we continue forth and take our imagination into every action today, every interaction today, and that we see the world through the eyes of that enlightened and aware imagination. We are grateful for this opportunity to come together, grateful for the recognition of our own divine nature, and grateful that we have a family named humanity. And with that, we say, and so it is. Amen. Thank you for joining us today. Appreciate you being here. Please go check out unityfortworth.org and definitely check out the calendar because there's always new happenings taking place. And I've misspelled calendar. I'm on a roll for misspelling today. But that's things there that I believe that you'll find worth checking out, whether on the calendar for what has been taking place that maybe you haven't seen, but there are new events and new things coming up as we move into November and December. There are new activities and even opportunities at Unity Fort Worth to meet in person, not in the buildings, but outside in the Peace Garden. There's some happenings and events that are rising for that. So definitely opportunities and things that I believe you want to check out. Thank you for being here. Look forward to seeing you soon.